This video is sponsored by Phoenix, which is formerly known as Minimal Case. Now, this is the same company that's known for their thin, sleek phone cases. They're just rebranding over to the name Phoenix. And right now, if you go to their site and use the code Gamesky, you can save 25%. So let's just say recently you've maybe upgraded to one of the new Galaxy S21 phones, or maybe you've picked up a new OnePlus Pixel, or maybe the newest iPhone. You can go to their site and pick up the Phoenix Thin Case, which is going to protect your phone against scratches and light drops while still leaving your phone feeling like it doesn't even have a case on it at all. Now, I've actually had these cases on my last several phones, and I love the minimalistic design that they have. I just like the fact that it doesn't add any bulk to the phone that I'm using, and so I highly recommend these cases. And again, I'd like to thank Phoenix for sponsoring today's video. All right, guys, so today's video I'm very excited about doing. We finally get to check out a pair of Raycons, which every YouTuber out there that's not an audio YouTuber is basically saying
these are the best eardrums ever. They fit the best, they sound the best, and they look the best. I'm matching with my style.
And so I wanted to check these out. I wanted to see how good these are. I also wanted to see how they stack up against other earbuds in this same price range, because I actually picked up the Raycon E55 Pros, which is their top of the line model. In fact, they call them the Performer. So they come in retailing at 120 bucks.
It's too expensive.
But that puts it right there in the middle of some pretty impressive competition. So I wanted to check out what all these had to offer, like what you get inside the box, some of the specs. We definitely need to check out the sound and see if this is the best earbud on the market, or at least see if it's worth that $120 price tag. So let's go ahead and start with what's available when you go to purchase these, because they are actually available in 4 different colors. You can see that I have the white model here, but it's also available in red and blue and what they call a gold, but it kind of looks like a rose gold. But I do have to say that as far as the case goes and as far as the earbuds, I'm actually a huge fan of this design. I think the case reminds me a lot of the Galaxy Buds Live and the Galaxy Buds Pro case, mainly because of the way that it's laid out. But I do like the matte finish. The earbuds themselves actually have a built-in ear fin, so it's really nice and comfortable, and I never felt like they were gonna fall out. So from a design standpoint, I actually like these.
I'm matching with my style.
Now, moving over to some of the specs that these have, they are using Bluetooth 5.0. Now, they do not have aptX playback, but they do have AAC and SBC. And throughout my testing, I didn't have any kind of connection or dropout issues. But I do want to say, while using these with movies and videos and gaming, every now and then I did experience lag. Now, I had lag every time while gaming, but that's common. But when it came to YouTube videos, there were some where they had a slight noticeable lag. So if you're looking for a pair to just use for all types of media, this is not one of those pairs that I would recommend for that. But if you're just using them for listening to music, obviously you're not going to have any lag issues there. Now, as far as using these outdoors, they do come in rated at IPX6, which means they're not waterproof, so you don't want to submerge them into water. But if you're using them outdoors and it starts to rain, or if you sweat heavily at the gym, none of those things you have to worry about. So that's another thing that's kind of reassuring while using these. Now, moving over to what they've included inside the box, I actually like the ear tips they've included. Now, these are a gel silicone ear tip. They include 5 different sets of these, and I do have to say, right out of the box, the ones that were on the earbuds just did not fit me right. I actually had to go up 2 sizes to get one to have a good seal, and that definitely made a huge difference when it came to bass performance, because originally I felt like these did not have any kind of bass at all. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we talk about the sound. Now, as far as anything else included in the box, they do actually include a little lanyard that goes through the hole on the case, and this allows you to just kind of hook these onto your keys or bag or whatever if you don't want to keep the case in your pocket. Now, as far as the charging cable they've included, they did include a USB-C cable, but luckily the case is also a Qi wireless charging case. So if you don't want to use the charging cable, you can just sit these on any wireless charger and they will start charging. So I do like the fact that the case is a Qi wireless charging case. And speaking of charging, the battery life I also feel like is really decent on this pair as well, because on the ear earbuds themselves, you're going to look to get around 7 hours on a single charge, where with the charging case, you're going to get around 40 hours total. So these do not have any kind of fast charge feature, so it is nice that you're getting 7 hours on the earbuds and 40 hours on the case. That way you don't have to really worry about charging these as much. Now moving back over to looking at the case itself, you can see on the side they have the USB-C input for charging, and this is also where the indicator lights are located to let you know how much battery life is left on the case. So now opening the lid to checking out the earbuds themselves, I am a huge fan of the way that these look. I think the white trimmed in silver just kind of has kind of a unique look to it. Now they did decide to go with button controls, which I'm also a huge fan of, and I do like that they made them very sensitive to touch. So it's not one of those pairs you feel like you have to mash hard, which means you're not feeling like you're jamming your earbud into your ear. And speaking of the controls, I'm also happy to say that they give you control over everything. So you have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and your volume control all on the earbuds themselves. So I do like that because a lot of earbuds for some reason tend to not give you volume control. And then if you're looking for a pair to just use one at a time, you can use either the left or the right on these. Now, if you're somebody that likes to use your earbuds for phone calls, I think the Raycons do a pretty decent job as far as picking up my voice. Even using them in noisy environments, I felt like it focused on my voice pretty well. So I think as far as phone calls, most people will be pretty happy. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
All right, guys. So here is a mic test using the Raycons, and I think overall it picks up my voice fairly well. I do notice some distance in the audio and maybe a little bit of boominess, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because I've said this before, if a pair does not have all the features that check the right boxes, if it has the sound quality, I can look past those things. And the Raycons definitely lack when it comes to sound quality as well. It's one of those pairs where you can tell that it is so bass driven that it's just too boomy at times to the point where it just destroys the mids and the highs. You just lack a lot of clarity with this pair. You lack a lot of detail. The bass obviously is giving you a lot of punch, but it's not tight. It's not accurate in any way. And depending on what you're listening to, it's just very muddy and congested, and it can just kill a song overall. If you're listening to stuff like metal, even classical or country, where there's, different instruments and different layers of things going on, the bass just tends to not know those layers and decide it's going to come in and just kick everything out of the way. So this is not a detail-oriented earbud. Vocalists sound like they fall back in the mix, and the cymbals and drums just don't have that bright presence to them. Now, I do like a brighter sound, so I'm not expecting them to have that almost harsh sound that I like, but it just doesn't even come close to having the detail that a lot of other earbuds do. And another thing that the bass affects is the sound stage and the sound imaging, because this is a very closed-in sounding earbud. There's not a lot of space in the audio, which also means you're not really going to be able to tell where instruments are coming from or feel like there's depth between you and the singer or the drummer and the guitarist. Everything just sounds like it's right there in front of you, and then that's it. I think if maybe Raycon designed an app where you could EQ these a little bit and tone the bass down and push up some things here and there, that may save it. But out of the box, the way that it is, it's just not a sound experience that I enjoy. So in this price range, if you're just looking off features alone, there's much better options. Also in this price range, just based off audio quality alone, there are much better options. Just to name a few, you have the Lipertec Tevi, you have the Sennheiser CX400 BTs, you have the Soundpeats T2s and the Earfun Air Pros, which both of those are even giving you noise canceling at a much lower cost. And then the one pair that I think, you would probably almost directly compare to these is the Galaxy Buds Plus. You're getting a very small form factor. You're getting earbuds that fit nicely. It has an app to be able to EQ the sound. You're getting much better features. You're getting wireless charging and sound quality that is in every way possible better than the Raycon E55 Pros. So guys, that kind of wraps up my video on these. Again, they called these the Performers. This is their most expensive model, coming in at $120.
It's too expensive.
So I went in going at their best model available, and I went away thinking it is definitely overpriced. So I do think that you're paying that celebrity tax because these are branded by Ray J, and you can see artists like Snoop and Cardi B and all the other ones raving about these. So I do think you're paying a little bit for that. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.
Here at Raycon, our premium wireless earbuds sound the best and they're super affordable because we're delivering them straight to your doorstep when you order. BuyRaycon.com. It's too expensive.